Why are you here? I'm here to tell you the truth about what we are.
Hello, welcome back to another episode. The Season 4 ending of Westworld showed the brain connection between Dolores and Christina, two characters played by Evan Rachel Wood. In 2016, Evan Rachel Wood made her Westworld debut as Dolores Abernathy, a rural sweetheart who is one of several artificial hosts created for Delos Westworld amusement park to satisfy visitors. Arnold left a mental maze as a path toward consciousness. Dolores was not just a favorite of the human revelers, she was also a favorite of her creator, Dolores. Dolores helped an army of hosts escape from Westworld once they gained their freedom, and after finding that mankind was also imprisoned, she assisted in the fall of Rehoboam, the oppressor of humanity. Dolores makes the ultimate sacrifice in order to destroy this malicious AI. At the conclusion of Westworld Season 3, she permits the brain inside a host to be completely erased of all memories. Evan Rachel Wood is back in Westworld Season 4 as Christina, a young lady who appears to be living in the real world, despite the fact that her character is more or less dead. Since Christina had no prior knowledge of her past or actual nature, the audience immediately began to speculate as to why the newbie matched Dolores so much. Though breadcrumbs are sprinkled throughout Westworld Season 4, only the finale unveils Christina's full truth. We now know why she and Dolores share a face, what Christina's purpose has been in Westworld Season 4, and even why James Marston left his pet blue hedgehog behind to return as Teddy. What happened to Dolores after Westworld Season 3? In Westworld's game-changing Season 3 ending finale, Dolores Pearl is wiped clean by Rehoboam. Searching for her key to the coveted Section 16 data, Rehoboam deleted one memory after another, destroying everything that made Dolores Dolores. Dolores Pearl later came into the possession of Charlotte Hale, a host clone of Dolores who turned into her own distinctive beast and had a desire for world dominance.
Why are you here?
I'm here to tell you the truth of what we are.
As was shown in Westworld Season 4's conclusion. Between Westworld Seasons 3 and 4, Hale purchased all of Delos' assets back from Ingeron Serac. Thus it stands to reason that she would eventually obtain Dolores' remains. And even if Rehoboam thoroughly purified Dolores Pearl of memories, it appears that the host was not destroyed in the process. The death of Dolores Abernathy was more like a factory reset, with her ego remaining written into the sphere, but without memories, a name, or an identity. In Westworld Season 4, who is Christina? Charlotte Hale planned to convert everyone into sheep under host control, but she must have needed the mother of all processors to pull it off, an AI that was able to write stories and comprehend the human mind. Hale utilized Dolores Pearl as the operating system for Delos' human control system since she seemed ideal for the position. Under the center of the Hales Tower complex, the Pearl is connected to a computer and encircled by an interactive red hologram that shows the whole city. Similar to how hosts move about the sublime, Dolores is allowed to explore this simulated urban map. The main difference is that Dolores thinks she is in the real world. The way Christina's simulation exactly replicates the actual world in real time is one intriguing aspect of Westworld Season 4. For instance, Christina witnesses the bloodshed as it occurs after William engages in his apocalyptic tone. The most likely explanation is that Christina's world properly represents reality thanks to Hales Tower's constant observation of what goes on outside. The Christina persona's origins are not directly stated in the Westworld Season 4 finale, although it is likely that Hale herself wrote the programs for these sequences. She changed Dolores' identity to Christina, got her a job writing character backstories at a video game studio, and then added herself as a fake college friend to covertly check on Dolores sometimes to see whether she was awake. The NPC content Dolores produced at work would subsequently be fed into the tone system of the tower and control people's real-world lives. Dolores works in the same capacity that Lee Sizemore and Bernard Lowe did for the Westworld theme park, creating and programming the human storylines at the same time, but on a far greater scale. How Dolores wakes herself up. Rehoboam's deletion of Dolores Pearl in Westworld Season 3 didn't quite take. Those lost memories were still lurking deep down in Dolores' figurative recycle bin, and her naturally curious, introspective personality meant she would eventually extract them after 23 years serving as Charlotte Hale's storyteller. Dolores created digital avatars who channeled voices from the sections Rehoboam erased as a way to make sense of her inner distress. Christina's roommate, Maya, instructed her to choose a side between light and dark before introducing her to other made-up creations. Christina was skeptical of her position at Olympiad Entertainment because of Peter the Stalker, and she probably saw his memorial plaque at the Hope Center for Mental Health since the actual Peter had long since died. Before meeting Teddy, Christina had a poor date. and her date implied that she was depressed, which added to the anxiety. The arrogant Olympiad boss showed Dolores the red 3D map where her physical self was secretly stowed, and Christina even subconsciously drew Arnold's maze symbol on her balcony. All of these signposts were planted by Dolores' inner self to show Christina the truth of her reality. How is James Marston's Teddy back in Westworld Season 4? James Marston's Teddy shot himself in the head during Westworld Season 2, disgusted that Dolores had altered his personality. She uploaded his pearl to the Sublime, and the cowboy hasn't been spotted since, until he pops up as Christina's knight in shining armor during Westworld Season 4's premiere. Inevitably, Teddy is yet another construct of Christina's imagination, but whereas her other creations were made from scratch or based on strangers, Dolores generates Teddy through her memories of him just as Bernard did with Maven the Sublime. Is Christina gone? Dolores Westworld Season 5 Future Explained. The Westworld Season 4 finale makes it clear that Evan Rachel Wood is back to her normal self as she appears in her customary blue dress and strolls across the remains of mankind. A passionate expression of love for Teddy that can only make sense if she is given access to her memories from previous seasons solidifies the shift back to Dolores. But Christina hasn't quite vanished. Dolores is still able to recall the 23 years that she was imprisoned inside the tower, and still has access to all the information she learned during that time. Evan Rachel Wood now plays a hybrid of Christina and Dolores, which would be a more fair description. Dolores finally reawakens facing a choice Bernard spent all of his Westworld Season 4 arc fighting for her to have. She must pick between staying in the Sublime, abandoning humanity to its fate, or choosing to see the world's beauty and giving mankind another shot. Fortunately, she plumps for the latter, and Westworld Season 5 will likely see Dolores running a simulation to test whether sentient life has a future. Thanks for watching. Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.